What's up, guys? Welcome back to Non-Mono Man TV, and today we're speaking about polygyny. My name is Remus and you are
Iman,
and today we're featuring on the channel to give our thoughts on how to get a woman or get your woman open to the idea of a non-monogamous or poly relationship. So the first quality, there's a couple things that I think are important, and then you can share what you think is important too. It's always said, but it needs to be said, but it's honesty and standing on business. So what comes to mind for you with that?
I think that's the number one thing that is so important to cultivating the openness for which your woman is going to feel safe. The minute you are honest about your intentions, about what you want, what you're looking for, what it looks like for her, what it means for her, she can then begin to feel safe that she can trust you. And if she can trust you, then she will trust you to lead her in the direction of something that is going to be beneficial for her. So I think honesty is so important in order to make her feel safe so that she can even be open to the idea in the first place.
That makes sense. You have to be willing to vocalize what you want, and you have to stand on business. That's what I refer to it as. So many guys, they're lying about what it is, what they're hiding, and it's just so crazy because really every woman knows what it is, deep down on some level anyway, right? And a lot of guys say, well, how can I find the type of woman that is open to it? But I think the biggest journey is actually finding it in yourself. Like, you are the best walking billboard for it. Like, you've got to be operating on that frequency first, rather than trying to get a woman to do it. Which leads me on to the next point, because basically you don't want to have the mindset of trying to convince her. Convincing is implying resistance and forcing and like trying to forcibly mold her into accepting it. But really, you don't want to do that. It's not that mindset you need. You want to inspire her. So instead of trying to convince, you want to inspire her. And this changes the way that you're gonna approach this. So first of all, the value of you as a man and the value of the experience that you're offering itself, it should be something that would make her go, yeah, actually, this kind of makes sense. Because I think that girls might say no to one type of guy, but then she might be more open to it with another type of guy because it just makes more sense or it feels aligned. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think kind of piggybacking on that, what's really important is this idea of the experience and what she's going to get when she's with you. If you can paint that picture for her and help her understand what that image looks like, then it's going to be easier for her to visualize it and not be in scarcity mindset, or not be in fear of abandonment or fear of the unknown, because this might well be something new to the woman that you're with, or something new to the woman that you might be pursuing. This might be her first polygynous relationship. So you being able to vividly paint a picture of the experience that she's going to have in this unit is going to really help her visualize and be safe in the experience itself.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are focusing on trying to convince her and get her to agree to something that's really just beneficial for themselves, but not the woman herself. We was watching some show, and it was one of Kendra G's shows, right? You might have seen it. And a guy was coming up on the live stream. I guess he's looking for a woman, and she's asking questions about, okay, so what, kind of like, what do you offer? Tell us about you. And he's saying that I think he got 7 kids, had 3 previous marriages. He's not going to be faithful to the woman. He's not going to provide for the woman. She's got to deal with certain stuff that's just like, if you hear it and you're thinking objectively, how could you not realize you're going to scare many women off? Like, it's almost like you're just saying, bad things, trauma, disappointment, pain, you know, it doesn't make sense. And I think a lot of guys are not conscious of what the woman is going to be viewing from her end. You know, even when it comes to faithfulness, I think you said it before, that a polygynous man is still faithful because he's faithful to his wives. But if you're the type of guy who lacks those qualities, she's gonna be like, look, he lacks integrity, he lacks honesty, he lacks this. I don't want to. Why would I even sign up to do something that might even be more vulnerable for me with him? Even if I was gonna sign up for that same level of risk, I might as well do it with a guy that's monogamous. And this is how they think.
I think what's really important about what you just said is this recognition of how is another woman coming into the family or coming into the unit going to view it. And the biggest what's the word I'm looking for? The biggest compliment, I guess, that you have, or the biggest advantage or tool that you have as a man already with a woman, is how you treat that woman and what that unit and that relationship looks like. Because any woman coming in is going to analyze, assess, take a look at that relationship first, and then decide, well, does that look good? Is that something that I'm going to want to be a part of? Because if I'm seeing things that are potentially toxic or look like unhealthy patterns, or if this doesn't feel good, or if it doesn't look like she's happy or whatever, then she's going to immediately be resistant to wanting to join the family. So cultivate the relationship that you have with the woman that you're already with before you begin to invite new women into the mix, because that's going to be sort of the baseline that other women, new women, are judging you as a man on. How do you treat the woman that you're already with? Because it's likely that she's going to be receiving the same treatment and she wants to be treated good too. So the fact that you can set an example, and it's going to be a really easy way for you as a man to do that, because you should already be in the mindset of cultivating a really healthy relationship as a foundation for someone else to join. So it's like, be the example, I think.
Yeah, so we have to unpack that, because you kind of have to think about it in two ways. Getting the first girl and then getting, you know, the other woman to join after. I think you're touching on the second part, but it can be linked to the first part too. The first part is you have to be offering value, and you have to be living or being the embodiment of your purpose, your qualities, your value, and so on. So much so that when you're with a woman and you're proposing this, you can actually confidently say there's going to be no loss to her, because she's going to be focused on, well, what am I, you know, if you're telling me another woman's coming in, that means I'm going to lose out. And that's why so many women, if you listen, if you see what they say in the comments and all of that, they say, these men can't even take care of one woman. Why do they want two? Which actually tells us the solution, because they're telling us the issue that they're having with it. So let's provide a solution to that issue. And then what you're saying is perfect, because this is like such a powerful tip in understanding how women see things. Women will observe the other women and see, you know, how happy she looks, how much she's laughing, and what he's doing for her, and so on. And if it's almost like living vicariously. And she's like, well, okay, that woman served as almost like the guinea pig in a way. She's like, okay, I can see that man, when he's with a woman, he gives this experience. And that's how I kind of see what you was basically saying. It's like she's, you know, almost like using the first woman as an experiment. But that's perfect, because you're going to perform good. You're going to treat your women lovely. You're not going to do it just for the other woman, but I mean, you know, naturally that's a byproduct and a result of treating your woman good. She's like, okay, I can see he's the type of man where if we get with him, he treats us like this. And I think this is in a lot of women. Like, a woman DM'd me before and recently, and she was saying, well, I feel like you're the type of guy that deserves it, because I can see you leading multiple women. So there must be some sort of value that would make a woman say that, because they're not just saying that to anyone. So when you think about that, what is your impression, or what comes up when you see another woman messaging me that?
I think it's great. Look, I enjoy seeing messages like that, because obviously I agree with her. So I mean, I think it's great that women recognize that and see that in you, because I already see it in you. So for other women to recognize it means that you are being the embodiment and the projection of exactly what I experience with you.
But not necessarily just about me, but to make it applicable for other guys, in that I think it shows that a lot of women would be more down if they could see, okay, with you deserve a certain type of experience. Do you get what I'm saying? So like when a woman's saying, well, you can't even take care of one, why would you even want two? Does it even make sense?
I think that's the kind of link that you make between painting the experience for them and then actually bringing it out into manifestation, so they can see firsthand what they'd be getting if they came into the unit. And I think the more women recognize and feel safe in that, and note and see that you are a man that is of his word, you are a man that has the qualities of a man that is capable of being in a polygynous relationship, then it makes it easier for them to not just understand it, but to feel at peace with it, and to really want to perhaps explore it a little bit more.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and then I guess the other thing you could say is that's on what the value you have to be serving, but I guess the other aspect to look out for is the qualities of a woman that would not just make a good sister wife, but has the type of foundation where you can even introduce these type of topics. So it's like, I feel like she would have to be open-minded. If you're getting with a woman who's very closed-minded, you know, it's probably going to be more difficult. Obviously, certain women are just literally more open-minded. You know, they're willing to hear you out, or you have to figure out how to make a woman who is closed-minded, how to make her open-minded with you. You get what I'm saying?
I think something else on that point that's really important, that I know that you kind of really observe in me and in other women, is what's her relationship like with her friends or with other women. Does she interact with other women in a positive and healthy way, or does she have friendships that are catty or jealous or bitchy? And I know that's something that like you really look out for, like what is the woman's relationship with other women away from men, away from any sort of romantic relationship, just generally what's her demeanor, what's her mindset like towards other women, because we've often seen a lot of women are not really cultivating healthy environments for sisterhood. So if that woman is involved with other women on a regular basis and she has really close friends that she regards as her sisters anyway, that's probably a good sign, because it means that she's really open to developing and nurturing healthy sisterhood bonds.
Yeah, so the way she naturally is aligns with the benefits of polygynous, you know, structure. So you have to think, okay, what type of benefits come with whatever union that I'm proposing, and how does that fit into how she already is? And if you can marry the two, then she can make it make sense in her head. Like even on another topic, you'd say, well, I believe in this because we're pooling together different resources, incomes, and so on. Maybe an entrepreneurial woman might hear that and say, you know what, that actually makes sense. That's, you know, one of the values I have in life is financial elevation. So if that's a principle in your union, it's going to make more sense to her. But all of this is just making things make sense. You know, not just telling her, trying to convince her for your own benefit, but understanding where she's coming from so that it actually does benefit her. So yeah, I think we touched on good things. And yeah, we will see you in the next part. Peace.